Okay. Hare Krishna, we are very fortunate to have with us His Grace Narayari Chaitanya Prabhu. So, Prabhuji, I request all the devotees to kindly switch on the videos so that at least Prabhuji will be able to see all the devotees who are all attending the sessions. Prabhuji wanted to address all the devotees who are attending the Bhakti Shastri so that to inspire all the devotees, as well as Prabhuji wanted also to speak on the importance of how we should take advantage of this Bhakti Shastri classes. So I request all the devotees to kindly switch on the videos and
Hare Krishna, you can hear me?
yes, Prabhuji. All the devotees are online. Can you hear? Sarvat Marishikesh, Ganesh.
Yes,
is it clear?
Yes,
Prabhuji, audible, yeah.
Yes. Prabhuji, few devotees are there in at their house and some are there in the temple also.
Okay. So when do I start?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namni. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangulangayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatadinam Paramananda Madhavam Chaitanya Ishwaram. I thank Karunamurti Prabhu and Swayam Prakash Prabhu to give me an opportunity to share and congratulate all of you for taking up this course of Bhakti Shastri. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada wanted all his followers to be expert in Shastras and in his books. So he told, I had some quotes from Radhanath Maharaj and others sent by Karunamurti, and what do they think about Bhakti Shastri is, how important for us it is. So Srila Prabhupada said that wanted all his devotees, thoroughly go through the books, and especially he had two reasons. The first reason is one, to purify their own hearts and to give them the capacity, and the second one is to give the capacity to transform other people about this mercy. So where they can challenge and represent Krishna and remove the doubts what they have. So in this endeavor that all of you are taking up, it is just not the academic interest. Yes, we should have a kind of academic interest, no doubt about it. But Krishna conscious movement is not just about academic interest, but also about how to dissipate the darkness of this ignorant world, where they are going in the direction where they are going, which leads no happiness and neither gives happiness to others. So this journey that Srila Prabhupada took up to the Western world, where he saw the materialism was so much, of top importance. And there he went and started this movement, Krishna conscious movement. And just like the thing is, the pure devotees, wherever they go and wherever they meet the people, and they make transform their hearts, just like Narada Muni. So Srila Prabhupada, in the recent years, is the forefront, where he could really transform thousands of devotees. And the first few thousands today are leading so many of us, and the movement henceforth is expanding and expanding. So naturally, the legacy is going to continue, and it will be next is on your hands too. So you have that kind of indebtedness to what we have to give to our parampara, and especially Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya's mercy, to the world, where every one of us has, a role to play. But when we take up the knowledge through this parampara and understand through heart to heart, that makes the difference. Just like in the Bhagavatam, it says, Brahma Hadi Kavaye, where Krishna speaks to Brahma through the heart. So this knowledge is actually, even though it goes through the mind, but it resides in the heart. And when it resides in the heart, naturally, heart-to-heart transmission is so powerful that today we are all staying in this, taking shelter of this. So Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj explains from the Bhagavad Gita 4.42, is Tasmat Agnana Sambhutam Hritisthanam Gnana Sinap Atmanaha Chitvainam Samshenam Yogam Astitostita Bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance, he doesn't say mind, he says heart, out of ignorance, should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. So, now what happens to Arjuna when he exhibited in the name of compassion, but after he surrenders to Krishna, and when Krishna revealed the Bhagavad Gita to him, then he changed, his heart changed, and he got up to fight. He says, I will fight now. You have dissipated that knowledge. But in the process of this knowledge of Gita, he had many questions to ask to Krishna. And Krishna very nicely answered. And in the process, this Bhagavad Gita is so renowned that all kinds of people around the world are taking up with different kind of interest. But for us, devotees of ISKCON, for us, it is the heart transmission. And certainly, when we learn something from there, we have to give it to others. So this Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, all this Srila Prabhupada wanted us to take it up and become expert. And certainly a good lawyer can plead for his client and convince the judge about how right they are. In the same way, you can see that the general people are kind of judges, where they are hearing so many things from different kinds of people, different kinds of knowledge. But when they hear from devotees, it is making certainly for them to open their heart and take up this legacy of Krishna consciousness. Just now I got a message from Govindaji Prabhu, he said that their Bhakti Vriksha distributed about nearly 2 lakh rupees worth Bhagavad Gita. So this knowledge is going, but now that knowledge has to be taught also. So that makes the difference. So as Maharaj says in the beginning of creation, how Supreme Krishna, Lord Krishna transmitted this knowledge to Brahma. So the purpose of creation is the living entities realizes the frustration of incompleteness in existing without Krishna, he says. Therefore, Brahma even creates the world, which is the world with everything temporary. There can be no real satisfaction. But the purpose of creation is again given because we as karma, to transform ourselves, understand everything, and leave this world, back to Vaikuntha. That is the Back to Godhead magazines, which Srila Prabhupada is talking about. So this parampara system is going on, and now it will continue. It is continuing now, it is continuing later. But now, naturally, students of Bhakti Shastri, you have taken up this, this course. Then what do we expect from that? This is what is said by Srila Prabhupada. 2 points about how first we transform ourselves, then we take up that and convince others to take up this path. So this transcendental knowledge actually is the basis of spiritual life, where Srila Prabhupada said the books are the basis. So unless we know what to do, we cannot build anything without actually substance purposeful it is. Suppose you are taking different courses and making your life, certainly something coming out of that is useful to you. You will get jobs and you will make your living. Maybe in that way, many people are benefited by these universities. So Srila Prabhupada's university is also something like that, but it not only helps this present life, but life after life. So it gives you the end goal. So he gives the example of Dhruv Maharaj, who was frustrated by material existence and the way the behavior of his own father and the mother. Yeah. But as soon as he met Narada Muni, the whole thing changed, and the purpose of his understanding what he wanted actually changed. He didn't want anything. So this is a very important thing for us, that when we are pursuing this Bhakti Shastri, we give that importance of how we constantly endeavor to make ourselves a better person day by day. A child, you make the mother and the parents try to engage the child to become a good person, teach so many activities. But in the beginning, he just imitates and does. But as actually he grows up, then certainly there's a transformation. So you can see that how Narada Muni has impact on Dhruv Maharaj or Prahalad Maharaj right in the womb, could transform their lives. So it is the knowledge which is changing and which is so important. And the knowledge is this Brahma, Divya Gnana is the most important. So you can see that Lord Chaitanya's movement is something which is going in this direction. But the scholarly or academic presentation is presented with humble humility. That is very important for us. Now, I know many of you have been in Krishna conscious ISKCON for a long time, but now you have taken up this process. So it is the very aspect of how Lord Chaitanya was preaching, how he would dissipate the knowledge of the people, very exalted people, but with his humble humility. So it is necessary for us to take up Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. So this is very important, that the mood of learning this knowledge is first, as Prabhupada said, that yes, for oneself to change and to practice, then make that. So many times, sometimes we get into this, then we take up these courses, but the outcome of it, we have to walk through these courses, through the mind. That is very important. Just like Digvijay Pandit, when he met Keshav Kashmiri, when Lord Chaitanya met him, so there was a debate which went on. But Lord Chaitanya, even though he defeated Keshav Kashmiri, but he did it in such a way that that the pride, that he crushed his pride without actually hurting his heart. So this is what Maharaj is talking about preaching. So when we become expert in certain things in knowledge, just like expert teacher, educates the children, through the love and affection with intelligence. Not to that the teacher becomes an expert, I am an expert, you listen. But it's not so. So this is what it is here, that he did not break anybody's heart. Again, the example we have of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was extremely powerful, deeply cultured. Actually, he is a Brihaspati incarnation. But his scholarship was not that what Lord Chaitanya wanted him to be. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya, how he dissipated this kind of knowledge which was not complete. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya listened to him very carefully. Then naturally he took it up. So the transformation of this knowledge in the present world requires love and affection has to come first. When you love somebody, then you make sure that how you want to benefit him. So this is our Acharya Parampara. So this is how we should, take up this course. Yes, I'm learning this course. What for? Now we are learning Bhagavad Gita. Then you have a nectar of devotion. Then you have nectar of instruction. Then we have Isha Upanishad. If you take from all these aspects, you can always know that it is the connection between people or the ownership. Suppose if you are taking Isha Upanishad, it talks about you're not the owner at all. Including you're responsible for the Supreme Personality of God. So everything belongs to him. In the same way, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining from so many chapters about the assertion of Jivatma's position and Paramatma's position. Plus, he talks about the Guru Tattva. If you take the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it completely gives an idea of real knowledge. That is the secret of what he's talking of Guhyam. So, second chapter explains that what we did not know at all, that you are sitting in a body, you're sitting in a cover, he keeps changing. So if you take that, so Krishna expands from, secret, better secret, and the best secret. He goes with that. And finally, he ends up with Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam. That means to say, this is the king of all knowledge. But this king of knowledge, with humility, is the best love what we can give to the world. So this is a constant endeavor for us, because this Bhagavad Gita is always there in the heart for us. Life after life, it keeps coming back and helping people. So the bottom line is, you're all now for 1.5 years, 2 years, you're going through this journey. At every point of life, the knowledge, whatever you're receiving, if it is received, just like you're thirsty and somebody is pouring water, and you take that in your hand. So in the same way, this knowledge should be received with that kind of humility, and that with the same humility we have to transform it to others. So he gives the example of Sanatana Goswami. He had the kingdom. He was eager to preach Krishna consciousness. He left everything and he went and fell at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Then he said, I don't know anything. People call me intelligent. I am very intelligent, but I don't know why I'm suffering. So now he says shameless condition for himself. So he surrenders to Lord Chaitanya's please. He says, he saved me. And from there you can see what transformed today. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they were the extraordinary preachers for Lord Chaitanya. They were blessed by Swarup Goswami, and Lord Chaitanya personally instructed these people also. So Srila Prabhupada explains that one should not write books for any reason, but to carry out the orders of the Guru. So in the same way, one should not have become an expert, not just to please oneself, but to please Guru and Vaishnavas. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all this knowledge, helps us to, build our character. It helps us to build relationship. It builds us to make people around the world happier, and the goal of life. So clearly he said, I am not writing this book simply not for you to distribute, but I'm writing this book for you to read it, understand it, and appreciate its value. Then only you can, real conviction to distribute to this, transform the people of people whom you are going to come across. So wonderfully, Srila Prabhupada is explaining. So many times we see many of us are going through this process of learning Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti, other things. But it is necessary for us to deep rootly change, what the way they are teaching us and what is to be got from that. So what is that today in the world can catch is nothing but the humility. When Srila Prabhupada went to the Western world, he presented this philosophy. There was no challenging aspect. He presented it so nicely. Today we are all we are all part of this movement because Prabhupada exhibited that, wonderful humility and acknowledged everything to his spiritual master. So it's a great opportunity for all of you to take up this. You can absorb yourself, and different dimensions of teachers are coming and helping you. Just like I went to GBC College, after coming from GBC College for nearly that 1 year, really so many things helped me out that actually I thought again I've come out of ignorance and some light is coming out. So many things I've tried to implement, and I can surely tell you the temple, what we have built, is many things coming out of from that school of thought. So certainly it broadened my views, and a kind of an inclusive aspects, penetrated my heart, that how to get everybody on board. Yeah, this is a continuous process. It's a continuous sadhana. But this sadhana, by the blessings of Guru and Vaishnava, it gets us what is decided by Srila Prabhupada. Now, Srila Prabhupada very clearly said that that I'm building this house for entire people to live in it. So it is naturally, it has to be the heart, is it not? So you are expanding that heart of Srila Prabhupada's through you all. So I thought I'll just share some thought process, just like a re-understanding, because something benefited me. So something I thought we could share. So I was explaining to Swam Prakash and Suman Gaurhari and Karuna Murthy also together. We thought we can go under this. So there will be certain things which Prabhu's will be. We can have some mock session. We can have some practical training also to, along with the theoretical as well as practical, we can put it up. And certainly the outcome of all of you would be a great boon to the society for expansion. So he says, although he's a disciple on the divine sage of Vyasa, and has thoroughly learned many scriptures from him, including law books of religious duty, epic history, Puranas. All this study has not produced good qualities in him. Rather, his study of scriptures is like an actor studying in a part that he is not self-controlled by humble. So this is how what happened to Romaharshana's defect, and Balaram had to carry him, got angry, and he killed him. So we have to understand that again from the Vyasadeva, even though he was an expert in everything, but still something was missing from him, and Narada Muni came and helped him out. So this Bhakti Shastri that they're all teaching you, it brings in with lot of Vaishnava quality. Vaishnava is, today we did that Vaishnava Ninda. So many devotees are becoming expert in different the qualities and characteristics of Srila Krishna was given in Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. The bottom line of all this starts with a beautiful relationship with each other. So these are all very important. So the goal should be how to please Prabhupada, how to please Guru, how to please our present acharyas, and make sure the logical end is got by all the people who come in touch with our movement. So you have a great temple coming up, which is there in front of you. Today your Bhakti Shastri student, tomorrow many more Bhakti Shastri, they will take it up, and you are there to to deliver the same knowledge. So my humble request to all of you is that this Srila Prabhupada has given the great opportunity that this temple has come up. So many people are coming. They are all anytime going to become devotees, or they are in the process. So everyone should be getting this recipient and this Gnana Deepa from ICC, where you are a part of it, where I'm a part of it. Let's do the best. So this is a wonderful opportunity. This grade will help you up. The importance of is that Krishna sees the purpose in everything what he's offered. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any reflections, anything you want to say? I'm open to it.
Thank you for the inspiring class.
You can unmute them.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for a lot of inspiration. I think it serves as a very nice starting point for us with a broader vision that you have given. And on top of it, I especially took the point Prabhupada said that I'm building this house for all. So how do we really make everyone inclusive in this and not, I always interact with you, I get to hear from you that we are not building ISKCON only for few people, it is for everyone. And how do we really make it for everyone is something which I'm taking as a message, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
How studying shastras are very important. You reinforce now in that point, and how not only it helps us to improve our devotional life and also help us to bring in more people to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So that was very nice point which we picked up from this class. And the task ahead of us is also, again, you given us some idea what we have to do for this temple, for the congregation. Thank you very much. It was a nice class.
Hare Krishna. Any Matajis can give a reflection? You can unmute.
We can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Double pranams. Thank you so much for giving us this inspirational message. I take back with me that, the way we need to embrace this entire Bhakti Shastri course is with humility is what I take back with me. I hope we can remain humble, and because that's the most difficult part. Whenever we learn something, we tend to become a little proud or become a little more egoistic. So I hope and pray that your message stays with us and that we remain humble and we learn this entire course with humility. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? All right, over to you. Swayam Prakash Prabhu, Karanamurthy, thank you for giving me time. All the best. I will see more energetic, intelligent people taking for this movement. I see IITians here. I see Ganesh Prabhu, who is knowledge, the way he presents. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyevacha titanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Just like a boat, while the boat is in the boat, when people are going, it needs a captain who can show the right direction and take it in the right way. Otherwise, as the waves come, the waves will take the boat in different directions. And people will be wondering where to go, what to go, and everybody will be giving their own understanding. And this side is better, that side is better. But when the compass is there, it shows the right direction with the proper distance, then it helps. So that way you are like a captain, you are inspiring and showing the right direction. So we all thank you very much for inspiring.
Srila Prabhupada is the captain. I am just an instrument. All right. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Alright, so we'll continue with our discussion on the nectar section. Is it audible? No?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's audible. Yeah.
Okay. So, continuing with the discussion of nectar of instruction, which it tells about the practical aspects of our spiritual life, how like now we should lead our spiritual life so that by applying these principles which Rupa Goswami Pada has given, in just 11 verses, Rupa Goswami Pada gives us a roadmap of going from the neophyte or the adhoshraddha or the a new devotee to the most advanced devotee. So that way, although this book is mainly for the sake of application than just for the information. So, continuing with our discussion on the second verse, we'll recite the second verse. 1. Atyahara prayasascha rajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laudyam cha shadhir bhaktir vinashyati. Can somebody from online read the translation?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Go on, Mataji.
Yes. Gandharvika Mataji, yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, or endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth one, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And last, sixth one, being greedy for mundane achievements.
So, in this, the Atyahara, Prayasa, Prajalpa, these 3 are already discussed. So, in going ahead with the Niyamagraha, which we'll be discussing today, and depending upon the time, we'll take the Janasanga and Laulyam. So, in this, the whole the 6 things which are to be avoided. I don't know, previously the speakers have taken also that the Bhakti Thakur has written this song, O He Vaishnava Thakur. So, in that when he says, O He Vaishnava Thakur, Dayara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori, in that he writes that in the first para that Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Guna Dehodase. Chaya Satasanga Deho E Amare, Kosechi Sangerashi. When he says that, like now, Chaya Vega Domi, that is referring to the first verse of the NOI, the 6 Vegas, Chaya Vega Domi. Chaya Dosha Shodhi, these are the 6 doshas which needs to be Shodhan Karna, or that it has to be removed. Then he says, Chaya Guna Dehodase, that is the next 3rd verse. That is the 6 things which we need to imbibe in our life. That is Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. Then he says, Chaya Satasanga, That is the fourth verse of Nectar of Instruction. Chaya Satasanga Dehoye Amare Bosichi Sange Rash. So that way, in these four verses, which are like now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning that how we should be so eager for this to get rid of the unwanted things and to inculcate that which is important in our life, and how to lead a life of Krishna consciousness, because the in the 9 stages of bhakti, the first 3 verses, that is the first, second, and third verse, that is related to the Shraddha, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th is Sadhu Sangha, how we should deal when we are in the association of the devotees. And the 7th one deals with the Bhajana Kriya, then the Ruchi, and the 8th verse discusses about the Asakti, and the last 9, 10, and 11 that discuss about the Bhava and the Prema. So that way, continuing with this, like the 6 things needs to be given us. Now we are in the page number 20 after the Prajalpa. In this, Srila Prabhupada takes the Janasangha first, and then again comes to the Atyahara based on the Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Anuvritti commentary. So we'll take the Niyamagraha and then come to this one. So page number 22nd, the last paragraph, accepting some of the scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit as utilitarians advocate is called Niyamagraha, and neglecting the rules and regulations of the Shastras which are meant for spiritual development is called Niyama Agraha. The word Agraha means eagerness to accept, and Agraha means failure to accept. By the addition of either of these 2 words to the word Niyama, rules and regulations, the word Niyamagraha is formed. Thus, Niyamagraha has a twofold meaning that is understood according to the particular combination of words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic development, yet they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the rules, regulative principles by avoiding illicit food, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. So, in this, the word, everywhere, wherever you go, there are rules. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Bhakti Aloka also, where he elaborates on these 3 verses, he writes that there are different rules and regulations for different people according to their level or where they stand. And whichever level they are in, they should follow the rules and regulations of that particular stage. Just for example, we also see the expectation for different people are different. Like if for a small child, what is expected to follow and avoid are different from that of a grown-up people. If the small child does something, that is not taken very seriously. Whereas the same thing, if he does it when he grows up, then it is taken as the wrong. And same way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes that the rules change according to the time, place, and circumstances and the level of advancement. And based on that, if one is just like, if one has completed the first standard and gone to the second standard, and if it doesn't follow what is supposed to be followed in the first standard, then he is doing a mistake. Whereas the second standard student is not expected to know or follow that which is there for the third standard student. If he comes down, that is considered as the fall down, or like no giving up the previous. And even Bhaktivinoda Thakur also gives this like no this niyamagraha while elaborating on this. He says that the 3 levels, that is the karma kanda or jnana kanda and bhakti, the rules applicable for all the 3 are different. And when one progresses from one to the other, then if one has slowly gone ahead from the karma kanda level to the jnana kanda level, if he again comes back to karma kanda, that is considered to be fallen or like no, not the right thing. It should be progressive. So here the 2 words, that is agraha and agraha. That is agraha means not following at all, or the agraha is just following for the sake of following, but not with the proper understanding the meaning of it. That's why in bhakti, it is very important to know why we are doing what we are doing. Otherwise, we may be doing something, but we may not know what is the reason behind that or the purpose behind that. And when we don't know and we continue, when somebody asks, we'll not be able to explain them or tell them, then they consider that it is just a superstitious, or you just follow blindly. And Srila Prabhupada also didn't wanted it to follow it blindly without knowing. So once there was in a village, there was granddaughter and grandmother staying together. And the grandmother had to travel to another village for a few days. And she told her granddaughter that I have these deities, please take care of that. Take care of them till the time I come back. The next day morning, the granddaughter went each and every house and she was asking, do you have a cat? Do you have a cat? Everybody said, no, we don't have. Somebody asked, why do you want a cat? She said, I want to do worship, deity worship, I want a cat. And then like no, practically everybody said, no, we don't have. Then finally one elderly person was there. He asked, for doing the deity worship, why do you need a cat? Then she said, I have seen my grandmother every day. She keeps the cat below a basket and then she starts the worship. So for me to start the worship, I need a cat. Then that elderly person said, see that your grandmother had a cat which would disturb her in her puja. It would come and sit on her lap or eat the things which is kept for the offering. That's why she would keep the cat below the basket. Now that the cat has gone with your grandmother, why are you searching for the cat? So the same way, when we don't understand the reason behind what we are doing, then what will happen is also like that only. That we will be searching for the cat, which is there is no need of the cat only. So that's why it's very important for us to have the right understanding between why we are doing and what we are doing. And then as we progress, it just doesn't stop there. What we do, how we are doing also matters. That's what if one is not doing it right way or in a wrong way, then again we are implicated. So suppose if the speed of driving is mentioned as 30 km/h, either breaking that, going faster than that is breaking the law, or in the name of no, if the road is written 30 km/h, but if the road is completely jam-packed and many people are walking, and still if I drive, oh, see 30 km is there, I'm going at 30 km only, but hitting to the people or like making the cycles which are there, making them fall, that is also wrong. So either we just follow for the sake of following or not following, both are considered to be the wrong. So that's why it is few Rupa Goswami Pad also has given the 64 limbs of devotional service which help us to progress in our spiritual life. So those also we need to know why they are meant and how we should apply them. Then we'll be able to take maximum advantage of them. Otherwise, if we just follow the blind rituals for getting some essence, like no, we can take few categories, and I'll just share some examples that sometimes people follow blind rituals for forgetting its what is the essence behind it. So in Maharashtra, many of the trains we see in the local train or in the other trains also, they do bhajans, Tukaram Maharaja, Bhangas and all. So once while traveling in the train, when the train started from Bombay to Pune, they started doing this, the singing the Bhangas and all. So everybody were thinking, a few devotees were traveling from Bombay to Pune, they were thinking, oh, so fortunate that like, no, there are so many Vittal Bhaktas, they are enthusiastically doing the bhajan, singing Abhangas. And it went on for 10-15 minutes. And after singing few of the Abhangas, then the Kartal went inside the bag and one suitcase came in the middle and they all took out the cards and they started playing the cards. So it is like they are following it, but just for the sake of forgetting what is the essence. It has become like a ritual that every day it was being done or we are doing it. So that way they do. So the same way, when the purpose is lost, then soon it will be, the practice may become just like a ritual, or one may leave the practice also. So Radheshyam was sharing once that he was invited for a Srimad Bhagavat Saptah. He went there and they had a huge celebration. Many people were there, all the Marwadis and all, they had arranged for this program, and they had a big chariot in which they had, in a decorated platform, the Bhagavatam was kept, and they took the Bhagavatam in a procession, and many people were there. And the moment they reached the pandal, all of them, the dignitaries, they went on the stage, and after 10 minutes there were many Matajis and only few Prabhujis. And then the Radheshyam was asked to speak. He said, okay, I think many of them have gone out, so let them come, just we'll start in 5 minutes. Then the organizer said, no, Prabhuji, you can start. But then so many people were there in the procession, now where they are? No, they are all businessmen. They all have gone back to their job or their business. So now they may not come, you can start. So Radheshyam was sharing that they are doing the ritual of having the Bhagavad Saptah, they are worshipping and doing all these things, but they are not doing the main thing of hearing the Bhagavatam. The way of serving or the purpose of having the Bhagavad Saptah is to hear. If that is not happening, then what is the big deal of just making a show of the worship? Yes, that is important, but along with that, more important is also to hear. So that way, sometimes it may become just blind rituals, forgetting the essence. This is the first one. Or second thing is, there may be some external polish, or externally one may do the things, but no internal, there is no substance in it. So they may do big show of being a devotee, but not following. Sometimes we see the people may wear big tilak or the dhoti kurta and all when one is new, but they may not be following what one is supposed to follow, or they may even break the 4 regulative principles also. In the initial days, when Prabhupada had he was preaching to all the hippies would come, attend the morning kirtans and everything, and just when Swamiji is not there, that time immediately they would go out, and just next to that there was some shop. They'd go there and they'd be eating or drinking some tea or whatever it is, other things. And then once or twice it so happened that Prabhupada came and was walking by. The moment they saw, they all went behind and they sat down. The same way, one may be externally showing it as a practicing devotee or something, but if one doesn't understand the purpose, then it will be like external, the nice bottle is there, but there is no substance inside that. Or sometimes it may be that one may do the external action or activities, but it may not be there in the heart. Example, sometimes when the great souls or the spiritual master comes to the temple, the devotee may come and just jump in front of the spiritual master and like to show that, yes, I am there, I am present, I am doing so much. But in terms of the commitment to the spiritual master or to the service to the temple or in his own spiritual practices, there may not be any commitment. So that is also again comes under the category of the niyamagraha, that it is just for the purpose of showing, but there is no real implementation of that in the life. And at the same time, as I said, if one is progressing in bhakti, if one is growing in the bhakti and not following the rules and regulations which he is supposed to do, then again it comes to the level category of niyamagraha. Just like a small baby, he may wear a diaper. It is allowed at his level. But if a grown-up boy, if he wears a diaper, still is wearing, then that is not the expected from him. So just like Srila Prabhupada, when he was in the West, initial days he kept a jar of gulab jamuns in the entrance. And all the devotees were going and coming, they would take a gulab jamun, pop it in their mouth, and they would enjoy it. And after some time, Prabhupada said, take out the jar. And then Prabhupada said, no more gulab jamuns. Then they said, Prabhupada, you only said that Krishna Prasad, you can take as much as you want. Prabhupada said, now I am telling that no, it is sufficient for all of you. Or now is not the need of that. So that way, as in the initial days, one is told, okay, you can do this, you can take this. Initial days, even if you are worshipping any devatas or anything or chanting different mantras, no problem, you chant Hare Krishna mantra also along with that. But even after 10 years, if he says, no, I am chanting all the mantras and I am chanting only 2 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, then that is not expected from a devotee who is practicing from bhakti from 10 years. So that way, at different levels, there are different rules as one progresses. So if one doesn't follow that, then again it comes under the category of the niyamagraha. And while practicing, one may break the lesser rule for the sake of following the higher rule. So we see in case of the Odia lady, when she climbs on the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees were trying to get her down, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't disturb, because her eagerness to see the Lord Jagannath is so much that I aspire that I also may get that eagerness to see Lord Jagannath. So that is the breaking, although climbing on the shoulder of even a devotee is not the right way or not the right thing to be done. What to speak of climbing on the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, no, that is not a problem, because her eagerness to see the Lord is so much. Another time, Jadurani Mataji was once cleaning Prabhupada's room, and while cleaning the Prabhupada room, she happened to climb on the Vyasasana or where Prabhupada would sit. The other devotee said, actually, you should not climb on the asana of the spiritual master. It is not the right thing. And she was a bold lady, and when Srila Prabhupada came back, she said, Prabhupada, I was just cleaning the room, and some places I could not reach out, and I wanted to put a photo for which I could not reach till the nail, so I climbed on your asan, so is it wrong? Then Prabhupada said, see, for the sake of serving Krishna, what to speak of climbing on the asan? You can climb on my head and fix the photo. So that way, in one sense, yes, it is the rule is that we don't climb on anything of the spiritual master or do it with the other devotees, touch our feet. But here, for the higher sake, it can be broken. That's what Srila Prabhupada was meant or telling from this. So the same way, we need to know where to draw that line. Otherwise, we may go in the either case. If we don't know where to draw the line of following or not following, then it becomes again the mistake. So in our following any rules and regulations, there should be, if there is a form without the substance, that is like we are following the rules, but there is no substance in following, then again it becomes doing for the sake of just doing. Just like we see that the Yajnik Brahmanas, they were doing the yajna for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. And Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita only tells, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram. That among all the whatever the sacrifices are there, I am the benefactor of all the sacrifices. So if that is the case, all the Brahmanas are preparing and making this yajna for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord Krishna. But when the cowherd boys, they came and told to these Brahmanas that Krishna and Balaram have come, please give something, they are hungry, please give them something for them to eat. They didn't even pay any attention to them. Although they are so much focused on intricate details of following all the rituals of the yajna. But their form was there, the form of doing the yajna was there, but the substance was missing of the purpose. So that's why in following anything, it is also important that we keep the goal in mind. If we miss that goal, then we commit this niyamagraha. That we will not be knowing whether are we doing it for the just for the namesake or we may not follow. So the same thing when the Gopas even told the Yajnik Brahmanas that even though you feel that you are doing the yajna and you cannot break in between, now is the time where you can give. If you give now, it will not become any implication or it is not breaking of the rules. Still, they didn't even pay any attention to the Gopas. On contrary, all the wives of the Brahmanas, the moment these Gopas went and told that Krishna, immediately they rushed with all that they had. Although they know that the items which they had prepared is for the sake of offering to the yajna as a purnahuti or the ahuti, but they understood that the essence of all this or the purpose of doing this for giving pleasure to Krishna. And if he has come personally, what can be more important or more fortunate situation than giving it to them? So that's why it's very important for all of us to also know that while we are doing any activity, keeping the goal in focus. Similar incident comes in the life of Sripad Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya had two disciples. One was very wealthy and one was poor. Once, when he was near their village, he sends two of his disciples to go to this wealthy disciple and tell them that his spiritual master is going to come to his house. Both of them go and inform the disciple. And he becomes so much excited that the spiritual master is coming to our house. So he starts making all the arrangements, gives all the directions to make the preparations ready to receive his spiritual master. And the disciples, they come back and Ramanujacharya asks, so how was his response? They say that Guru Maharaj, he was so excited that you are going to his place. He immediately started making all the arrangements to receive you, and very grandly, and all the arrangements for your stay and for your prasadam, everything he started making. Ramacharya asked, that is fine, but how did he receive you? They said he didn't pay much attention because he was so excited and enthusiastic to make arrangements. So Ramanujacharya was not so much pleased with that, and he told the both of them to go to this. His another disciple was poor. He sent both of them to this house. They both of them, they go to his the poor disciple's house and inform him that our spiritual master Ramacharya is coming to your place. The moment he heard that Ramacharya is coming, so he became so enthusiastic that he gave them the place, and he was thinking like with whatever he little bit he had, he took care of them. At the same time, he was wondering how can I serve, and he treated both of them nicely by giving them the basic things of what he had in terms of the sitting, sweet words, and offering some water. And when they came back and told how he received both of them, Ramacharya agreed to go to the house of this disciple, poor disciple. And when the disciple was rich, he came here and he said, Guru Maharaj, you are supposed to come to my house also. Then he said that yes, but then the way you treated my representative was not the right way. So there the principle is there, although their spiritual master is not yet come, but they are representative and they also should be treated like no properly. So when that goal is not kept in the mind, then one may be doing it, but then one may miss out the things. So that's why in the Bhakti also there are so many rules and regulations which are given. And the principle, just like when you go to the doctor gives both. He gives a prescription which is to be done and the prohibition which is to be avoided. Just like when you have a disease, there are certain things which need to be done to cure the health and certain things to be avoided which will degrade the health. The same way the rules are to be followed, some of the rules, and some have to be avoided, so that the whatever the bhavaroga we have, we can get cured of that bhavaroga. So when we know the purpose of all these rules and regulations, then we'll be able to follow them properly. The foremost of all the rules and the bhakti is smartavyam satatam Krishna visvartamya na jatuche. That is like always to remember Krishna and never to forget Krishna. This is the core of all the do's and don'ts. When we remember this, the core principle, then whatever we do, we'll be able to keep that in mind and follow it properly. Otherwise, it may become that it may go to the either side. We may be following certain things, but not knowing why we are following. Or following is just for the sake of following. So, these were few points regarding the Niyamagraha. If there are any questions or if anybody wants to share something, if not, we'll go to the next one. Basically, like if you read as such, for example, here only in the previous verse, if you see the verse 1, 2, 3, and 4, the first and second one is telling that to be avoided. And the third and fourth is telling what we need to follow. Yeah. This, apart from that, even as I said, Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion also, he gives the 64 limbs which will help us in our bhakti, progress of bhakti. So there also again he gives what to do by which we can progress. And even in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna at many places he tells that these things to be given up and these things to be followed. So that way, if you take all these Bhakti scriptures, everywhere what to do, what not to do, that is given. And also even in from the beginning of our spiritual life also, we get the guidance from our superiors who tell us that do this and don't do this. Just like Prabhupada also has given us that follow this four regulative principles. Like no, don't break them, avoid them, and also follow the four regulative chanting 16 rounds. Recently, one devotee has shared the first letter which the Prabhupada had written, that when he initiated the first set of devotees, after initiating, Srila Prabhupada initially he didn't say anything, but after initiation, next day when they came, there was a letter which was put up in the entrance, and Prabhupada had written few things to be followed by all the devotees, all the disciples. Let's see if I can get it. If not, maybe I'll just share it in the group. In which Prabhupada says that now that all of you have taken initiation,
Hare Krishna, are you there, Prabhu? We can't hear you.
Yes, Prabhuji, not able to hear.
No, Prabhu. No
Maybe
videos.
he got disconnected. Looks like disconnected, it seems.
You also don't
No,
get.
no.
I think he has to be informed.
Let me call him, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, sorry, got disconnected.
Prabhuji, are you audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So that way we'll get to know from the Bhakti scriptures, everything mentions about what to do, what not to do. So there we'll be able to get. And while following, we need to know that what is basically it is with what attitude or the mindset we are applying them. Whether am I applying it with the proper understanding, or sometimes simple thing as I may be reading the book, but for what purpose? If I'm just okay now, I'm supposed to read the book, I'll just sit and for 30 minutes I read. At the end, what you have understood, I don't know. I've read 30 minutes. That is following just for the sake of following. Or anyways, I'll not read only. Both are wrong. Or reading for the sake of, let me read it so that I'll show my how better I know. Or panditya, to show my panditya. Then again the purpose is lost. So
when we come from that place, maybe it is got represent like if that one, if you are doing unruly, that is okay. Like with that reference, if we think and we have the logic, we can do it, and also like we know for when you serve Lord, this is okay.
Yeah.
That us expect our mindset what should be.
No, like no, just like there are rules, but the rules are not applicable for everyone. For example, these rules, niyamagraha or niyamagraha, when you are applying, we need not have to judge the other person's this one. Because other person with what intention they are doing or what level they are, we may not know. For example, why I mentioned is that sometimes if we see that the etiquette is that when you come to the temple, at the entrance you offer the obeisances to all the devotees who are present, and offer to Prabhupada and both the deities. Suppose if a very advanced devotee, he may just go and directly enter the temple hall without offering any obeisances and goes and take darshan of the deities. We need not have to be like seeing that array, he didn't follow the offering of the obeisances at the entrance to all the devotees. Because he is at the level where why we offer obeisances there is to offer respect and to go down and to humble ourselves. He is naturally humble and he is like, no, he is completely focused on the goal. Ultimately, why we want to follow all this to develop our attraction and attachment to the Lord. If he has already developed that, then he doesn't have to follow the, even if he misses. It's not that the advanced devotees will not follow the lesser rules, but in case it may happen that even if they miss it, that is not considered as any breaking of the rules, because he is clear in his goal. The goal is clear, but the details may be missing. So that way we need not have to see that as a breaking of the this. Just for example, sometimes a lesser rule may be broken for the sake of the higher purpose. If the police is going in the route either in the wrong direction, or if he goes, although the speed limit is 80 km/h, to catch a thief, if the police goes at 120 km, that is not considered to be breaking of the rules. Hey, he has gone in 120. You cannot tell that, see, the police is going at 120, why you are not allowing? He has some other higher purpose for which he is doing. So when that is kept in the mind, then it is wrong. Otherwise, we may see them also as a wrong, although it may not be wrong from their perspective.
Prabhuji, how to really bifurcate this? Because it's very difficult to actually bifurcate as to who's
Sorry, bro?
elevated. Yeah, I'm just asking, how do we really bifurcate this? Because it's really difficult to bifurcate who's elevated, who's not.
Sorry, bro.
I was just asking, how do we really bifurcate this when we say, okay, some souls who are already elevated, they may not really follow certain rituals because they are already focused on a higher purpose. How do we really identify that? But that's very difficult, right? I mean, looking at the external features or just the achara cannot really define one's relation with Lord. So
yes, bro. Few things are there. That first thing is that whenever we are in such a dilemma, first thing is that all these principles which you are learning is for our application. First thing. Second thing, yes, that doesn't mean that like when you observe, we just blindly follow anyone and everyone. And we observe that suppose even if somebody doesn't follow, we give a benefit of doubt. That, oh, I might have not seen them doing it. Or like no, because sometimes we might have missed something observing and we may think that, oh, they have not done it. And keep it in the car parking area that, oh, I'm not able to understand it. Let me just not judge. So, and in case if you are getting doubtful about that activity, then best is to go and clarify with somebody who can clarify us rather than speaking amongst ourselves. Or rather than going and speaking to my equals or somebody that Prabhu such and such Prabhu came, but he didn't follow this, which we are supposed to do. Rather, when we go and speak to suppose senior, then he may clarify us. He may sometimes tell us like the practical reason that from such and such devotee, he has severe back pain, that Maharaj, or because of which he is advised not to do Dandavat. Or they may clarify that he every time does, but he was so eager to take the darshan of the deities for that he was coming for the first time. Or this is the place where he has served for so long that he was so eager to take darshan that he didn't follow these things. So that way, when we hear from them, then our external observation may not become we may be able to see it properly. A simple example is that of the Pundarik Vidyanidhi and the Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit thought that from seeing Pundarik Vidyanidhi from the externally, that what is this? He's supposed to be humble, simple, but he's not. But Pundarik Vidyanidhi was so immersed that although he was externally doing all these activities, but internally in the heart of heart, he is relishing the pastimes to the Krishna, or like completely Krishna conscious. Because of which, the moment Mukunda sang this, the verse of Aho Bhakiyam Stanakala Kutam, immediately the Ashtasatvika Vikara manifested in his body, and he just got up and he started rolling in the ground. So that shows that what level of advancement he is in. Although externally he may be doing all these things. The same way, sometimes the externally, that's what I said, the lower rules are applicable for the lower levels, whereas the higher rules apply for the higher levels. Just like for a constable, he is supposed to salute for the higher ups. Whereas the inspector comes, he doesn't have to do the salute for the constables and all. Whereas his superiors comes, he has to follow. So according to the level, if a Kanishtadhikari is there, he is supposed to follow certain things, and then even in the further it comes that how a devotee respects. If one is a initiated, how he respects. If one is just a neophyte, how he respects. For one, he may respect in the mind only. For the other, he has to offer obeisances.
It looks like Prabhuji is frozen again.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's his video. Ganesh Bhai Prabhu,
yes, Prabhu. Can I
Yeah.
call him?
just to add something, what he said,
Yes, Prabhuji.
let's be judgmental about others.
Yeah.
We can judge our own self. We can criticize, but others, we tend to judge,
Yeah,
So-
Prabhuji, I agree. Because I've seen both the extremes. It is not necessary that whom you consider as elevated need not be an elevated person. Whom you consider not as elevated can be an elevated person. So I've seen those extremes. So I go with you, bro. We have to just respect and say whoever can be devotee there, you don't know.
Yeah.
Prabhu, that's why devotion as association, devotee association is required. That's why, right?
It depends, Prabhu. I've seen some people who are, because of their Purva Janma Sukriti, even if they don't have association, they are well associated within. For many people who like me, for example, I will need association every time because maybe I need to go a long way. But a lot of people whom we feel are not associated are also many times exalted, and they show those such kind of signs in terms of their they being exalted. So there are a lot of ifs and buts actually, which I've seen across various paramparas, various different sects, which actually makes me ask a question to myself as well. Is it a right parameter to judge? So
Yes. But it is we have to give attendance to the temples so that we know who is who. That's also the one point. That is also one point.
What he is saying that some people because of their purva janma, whatever
Yeah,
they have
understood, Prabhu.
done devotional service,
Yes, yes.
advanced platform. So without even
Right.
having proper association, also they can advance themselves.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
But in any case, the devotees, they want to associate with other devotees. Generally,
Yes,
unless
Prabhu.
he is
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
I've seen
they-
some people who are like, who may be associated and they're visible in temple on a daily basis for 20 years. And you may see one person coming in one day and next day he is getting, elevated to the next level. It's possible because you don't know when the Sukriti will be, activated. So,
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think we lost you in between again.
Sorry.
Mhm.
You're sharing something? Is that clear? So I just shared.
No, we were just discussing, we lost you in between again. Eager to continue to hear.
No, was it which I shared, was it clear that how we differentiate between the, or did
Same
it
thing.
get cut in
Yeah.
the?
Yes, same point. Yes. I think, yeah, you answered that, Prabhu. Thank you for that.
Any other questions or anybody would like to share something? Mother is asking that sometimes we are doing certain activities of reading or hearing or something, and senior devotees may tell us that once you do it, just put it in the group or a message that we have done it. So she's asking that is it also a kind of a showing off or what exactly it is? So yeah, she's asking connected to that is that sometimes we want to do it every day, reading or something, and today I'm completely tired.
Voice is not clear, Prabhuji. Prabhu, voice is not clear.
It's a bit cracky, Prabhuji. Your voice is a bit cracky.
Really?
Now it's
Hare
final. Yeah.
Earlier it was little more clear, Prabhuji. And now it's a bit unclear. After
Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Now is it better?
No, Prabhu, not clear.
Mhm.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna. Is it okay, bro, now?
yes.
Now it's good, Prabhu.
Now it's okay.
Okay, sorry. So what I was telling is that Mataji is asking the question that sometimes we are told to do certain things of reading, hearing or something, and we will be reporting to our senior devotees. Is it a show off? One thing. Second thing, some days we are tired and there's hardly any energy left. So still we want to do it just for 5 minutes or whatever it is, just for the sake of doing. Is it comes under this? So in that, just when we are doing it for the based on the direction given by our superiors, and if you are reporting to them, that is not show off because none of us have. See here the niyamas are there for the sake of, as I said, to remember Krishna, never to forget Krishna. For a pure devotee, this doesn't apply because he is constantly remembers Krishna and there is no way he forgets. So that way for him there is no rules and regulations applicable. That's why if you see in the Bhagavad Gita also, Srila Prabhupada quotes the Madhavendra Puri's shloka wherein he says that, like, no, I fold my hands and offer obeisances to the Sandhya Vandana and all these rules and regulations, that now that I have got attracted to the Supreme Lord Krishna, that I don't feel any attraction towards doing all these things. Although a Brahmana is supposed to do the Sandhya Vandana every day, but now he is gone beyond that. That is like those rules and regulations are there for us to remind and purify us. If one is already purified, then they don't have to follow that. They're already, the goal is achieved. So the same way for them it is not needed, but whereas for us, we are still in the stage of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. That we'll be discussing it in the nectar of devotion, that we don't have natural attraction. So for us, we have to do it for the sake of, because our acharyas and the superiors wants us to do. That's why it is called a Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. It is a vidhi, rules and regulations are there. But when naturally that comes from the heart, then one comes to a stage of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. There, he doesn't have to follow it. There are no rules and regulations, but naturally he follows it. Naturally, attraction is there towards it. Right now, we don't have that attraction to read Shastra or hear. That's why there will be rules and regulations. Okay, do it on a regular basis. Why the spiritual master gives us that chant 16 rounds, don't break 4 regulated principles. Because if that is not, the rules are not kept. If just imagine that there is no rule for a child that you should study. Will any of the child study? Take the book? No, because the parents say sit and study, they sit and study. Because the teachers put them under like, okay, do your homework, they do it. The same way, we don't have natural attraction towards chanting that, oh, even if I am not told, like, no, I'll put my hand in the bead bag and I'll just immerse whole day. Because Krishna tells Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. But what to speak of Satatam Kirtayanto Mam? The moment 16 rounds are over, at least for me, the hands doesn't go inside the bead bag after that one mantra also. So that way there are these rules and regulations for us so that we develop that natural. By doing it again and again and again, then one day may come wherein you may start doing it voluntarily. So till that time, if you are following it with the purpose and the goal that yes, I'm doing it because I have been guided by my superiors, so that I can develop natural attraction. If that goal is kept in the mind, then that is not sure. First thing. Second thing, yes, we all are in this material world. While being in the material world, sometimes it may happen that the things of this world may take out so much of energy that there's no energy left out for the sake of following this one. Then, if it is happening some days that yes, at least let me keep up that continuity by just doing it for 5 minutes. That is not a like no, just doing for the sake, because the goal is clear in the mind that yes, I'm just doing it. Otherwise, if I give up, I may give it up only. But I want to continue doing it. But if it is like no, months and years are going and then just like no, oh, let me just do it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then that is wrong. If it happens just for few days and the office is hectic, and then again I come back to my previous this one, then that is not a niyama. Any other questions or comments?
It depends on our attitude finally.
Yes, bro. It's all like no. That's why Prabhupada in the beginning, opening only, you all might have read it also. That in the preface only, Prabhupada writes, the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the
Attitude.
attitude of the follower. It's a very famous statement. All of you might have seen it. In
Yes.
the preface, you all might have read, right?
Yes. Preface.
It is a preface, the third para, first line. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. So that's why it is the consciousness. With what consciousness we are doing it. So yes, bro. You're saying something? Acha, okay. Okay, you're relaxing. I thought. Okay, now I'll just, before going ahead, as this is a book of for implementation, let us take out one or 2 minutes and just all of you can try to write down, because every day we are doing so many activities in Krishna consciousness, which if we carefully observe, some things we may be doing it just because I am supposed to do, or not doing only. If you can write down 2 things which we are supposed to do but I'm not doing it, or I'm doing it but for the sake of doing it I'm doing. You can write down 2 for each. Take out time and try to see which you want to bring out change in, like, now your own life. The 2 things which I'm supposed to do, like every day. For example, if in my case, if I say those 2 things, I'll write down one thing. I like, now reading every day is important, which I am unable to do it. Like, no, the same way the hearing. So like that, for everyone, you may be having many multiple things, but at least some 2 things which we are supposed to do daily, which we are not able to do, or we may be doing it, but doing it just for the sake of doing it. So you can write down in a paper that what are the 2 things which you want to bring out a change in the life. Yeah. First thing is, we are supposed to do something which we are not doing. That is, not doing is like a kind of niyamagraha. Or I'm doing it just for the sake of doing, without keeping the purpose in the mind. So what do you do? If you have done 4 things, that is, some things which you are supposed to do, we are not doing. Sorry? I request, now 4 things are there, 4 points which we have written down. Out of that, at least choose one of them which you want to bring out a, like, at least consciously make an effort to change it from today onwards. Whichever you, one of that which you want to. After choosing that which you want to change, at least write down 1 or 2 points which, how you want to bring out that change, or what practical steps you will take. Suppose I'm not able to read every day, at least let me make an attempt of reading 5 minutes a day, or 1 shloka a day, or whatever it is, that which you want to do it, rather than others imposing. Huh? You choose one of the 4 points you have written, right? Out of that, you choose one of that which you want to bring, like apply it in your life. That you want to make an effort to improve in that. Out of the 4, you choose one of that which you want to bring. 2 are there now. Out of the 4, you choose any one of them which you want to implement, make an improvement in that. And how will you do it practically? And we have heard that to bring out any change, the first thing important is to have a desire. So with that desire, you can offer praise to the Lord that gives the strength so that we can implement that on day-to-day basis or bring out that change in the day-to-day activities. So with that, I pause for today. Any queries, comments are there? I'll just take. If not, we can. Do this. I have taken from Rasham. I'm just seeing some of it. It's available on the day. So if no questions, shall we pause for today? Sorry, there were in between some interruptions. We'll end with the Vaishnava Pranam. And next week we'll continue with the 2 more are remaining, Janasangha and Laulya. In that Janasangha, Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks about the Mayavadis, Muktikamis, and the Siddhikamis. And also speaks about the Laulyam, how one should have the Laulya for the spiritual aspects, not for the material advancement. And those 2 things we'll be discussing in the next week's session. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo ananta koti vaishnavanda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Shri Prabhupada ki Shri Upadesha Amrit ki Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, can we get a sadhana chart printout, Prabhu, if possible, so that we can follow it up, chanting, reading,
Yes.
and all we can mark, no?
Yes, Mataji. One of this one is that Rashambra was telling sometimes one may not keep any track of one's sadhana. Even I am also in that case only. I should not be. I'm not the right person to speak. Or feeling it for the sake of feeling, and one is not seeing that how to make an improvement. Just are you feeling it? Yes, I'm feeling it, but not keeping a track and trying to make an improvement. So either comes under this category of niyama.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, with the recordings as well, I was just wondering, if the recordings are going to be updated on the YouTube.
Yeah. I'll tell Karnamurthy Prabhu. The recordings, he will share it in that WhatsApp group. The links.
3 videos are uploaded so far.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Shandilya Prabhu.
3 videos are uploaded. Only 3 videos have been uploaded so far in that link given by the Masterji.
Yes, bro. I'll request Karnamurthy Prabhu to post it in the WhatsApp group.
Also, Prabhuji, can I please ask something?
Yes, Mataji, please.
So out of the points that I have written, things to be supposed to be done is one is very challenging for me, which I'm not able to do, is the early morning chanting, Prabhuji. Like waking up 4 o'clock in the morning and chant my rounds. I don't know if you have any practical tips that we could follow.
All I can say is, Mataji, that recently I was just talking to Premidi Prabhu. He had come to our temple for a short time just. So while talking to me, he was sharing few things. How to form a new habit. He was just sharing. I was just talking to him. So he said that to form any new habit, one or two things you need to know is that he said, if someone else is making it for you, it may not work out for you. In the sense, suppose somebody is telling that do this, do that. If I don't have that capacity, I may not do it or I may give it up. Just for example, if I'm told to jump from ground floor to first floor, I may make an effort once, twice, thrice, and afterwards I'll tell that, just like the story of that the sour grapes. I may tell that it is not possible and then give it up. Rather than that, taking a baby step. For example, if my goal is to get up at 4 o'clock, and now if I'm able to get up at 6 o'clock, rather than immediately jumping that I want to get up at 4 o'clock, bringing a small change of just 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. Let me get up at 5:55. It may appear that, array, what is this? I want to get up at 4 o'clock, but how does it make a difference of getting up 5 minutes? No, it will make a lot of difference. Just like if the aeroplane takes off in Bangalore and takes just 1 degree deviation, after traveling 1,000 kilometers, instead of landing up in Hyderabad, I may land up in Bhubaneswar. Immediately, it may not make a much difference, but on a long run, it will make a difference. The same way, if you start, okay, let me get up at 5 minutes earlier than what you get up every day. Or making this one that, like, no, I'll not snooze. The moment it rings, I'll get up at least, whatever time I keep. So that way, it is a small baby step. Just like instead of trying to climb up the one whole floor, if I just climb one step, it may appear that I have climbed only one step, but just a matter of time that I'll be in the first floor if I continue. The same way, just get up at 5 minutes before, maybe for a week, and then again increase it by 5 more minutes. Maybe after, say, 2, 3, 4 months, you'll be getting up almost half an hour, 45 minutes early. And after, say 6 months, without our knowledge, we'll be able to do it that which we feel that it is impossible or difficult. So that is my simple what I have understood, Mataji, that instead of keeping you can keep that goal as a long-term goal, but a short-term goal can be that just making a small implementation of maybe just a 5 minutes and try to stick to that.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Correct.
Hare Krishna.
Even Ganesh Prabhu can share. He has trained.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
yes, Mataji.
One more doubt, continuation what Mataji has told, that early morning we'll get up at 4:30 or 5, sometimes 5:30 also. But we have to do Mangal Harati and then chanting. So sometimes when I get up 5 o'clock also, sometimes I will do Mangal Harati, sometimes I will just chant. So it comes under Niyamagraha?
No, Mataji. Because that's what, no, the goal or the purpose is that yes, we should chant, we should do Mangalarti both. But then again, it may vary based on the time, place, circumstances according to different devotees. Suppose if some devotee has to leave home at, say, 7 o'clock. If we start doing the Mangalarti, singing Mangalarti, and then he has to do some household activities also, then if he leaves home at 7 o'clock, he may be able to cover chant only 8 rounds, 9 rounds, and one may has to chant either in the bus or in the evening after coming back. Instead of that, if he chants his rounds before completing the rounds, then while going in the bus or something, he can sing the Mangalarti and do that. So that way, that little practical adjustments may have to be done case to case depending upon the individual, and you can consult some of the seniors who knows you and who know your daily schedule and your personal things. They will be able to help you out to prioritize it. Just for example, in the temple we do Mangalarti at 5 o'clock and then we chant. Whereas in our youth centers, we do directly the moment they come in the 4:30, they sing Shikshashtakam and then they immediately chant, and the Mangalarti we do at around 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Because in the youth centers, maybe in and around the houses or around surrounding, there may be many residents who are there. If we do Mangalarti at 4:30 only, it may be disturbing to them and we may not be allowed to stay there, or we may not be able to continue our preaching or stay. So that way, seeing that practicality, we would do it at 6:45 or 7 o'clock, by which many of them have gotten up.
Yeah.
So that way,
In my case, it is different that I feel first to do, sometimes I don't feel like doing Mangalharati at 5 o'clock. I just want to chant. So in my case, I don't feel like doing, I just want to chant. Even though I get up at 5 o'clock or 5:30, I don't know whether it is a Niyamagraha or something happening to sadhana only.
no, if you are trying to avoid Mangalarti,
Sometimes, Prabhu, not every day, sometimes very rare.
then Mataji, all of us, because we have, as I said, we have not developed that complete attachment or attraction. It's a Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And in the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, it is not always constant. It is like sometimes goes up, goes down. Khana Tarala. Just like the waves, it goes up and comes down. So that may happen. But then we need to see that no, it doesn't just going down, or I'm not doing on a Mangalarti for many days, or I'm not doing certain things. Once in a while, if it happens, then we can try to notice it and try to adjust and make the needful changes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You're saying something, Ganesh?
No, Prabhuji, yes, I'm completely with you, Prabhuji. Just a few points based on my experiences. I think first thing that we have to do is accept that we are under the clutch of Maya. So that's the first thing that we need to do. And we are imperfect. That's also we have to accept. Many times I have seen we being devotees, we get into the guilt mode, saying, okay, I couldn't do this. We actually forget the whole day's sadhana that we do, which is 90% of it. Just because I couldn't get up at 4 o'clock today, we have that guilt in our mind many times. And what we need to remember, in my opinion, Prabhuji, is that mind has the power of Maya at the end of the day, and intelligence is still weak. So it's like if you have to train the mind, then you have to treat it like a small kid, that you have to lure it with something, and over a period of time, give it its leeway also to play, give it its leeway also to, deviate from what you say. And gradually with Smartavyam Satam Vishnu, you have to strengthen the intelligence, and it over a period of time, it would come to certain level. Even I think sannyasis also struggle to meet their own schedules, because it's not easy. We are all under the power of Maya, other than Lord Vishnu and Goddess Lakshmi in this entire universe. Rest all are under the power of Maya. So we will have missed schedules. We will have missed Mangalartis. That is very natural, and if we can accept it and say, if we are able to remember Lord at any point of time, that's the biggest achievement that we have. Over a period of time, that will also get adjusted, is what I feel, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Actually, the seminar has ended. I'll just
Yes,
end the meeting so that I can just go and thank Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Hare Krishna.